Hey guys, it's Elisha on this one. Welcome to Elisha's Prophetic Power. Today I'm going to be talking about a subject that I think is important, pretty interesting, I would say. It's symbolism. I mean, I mean, God. Does God still use symbolism to come across in His communication with people? I'll say yes. I mean, if you look at the Bible, you find that symbolism were more prevalent in the Old Testament. An example is that of the prophet Isaiah. God told him to actually to go out in the streets prophesying, like almost naked, like butt naked, so to speak. But I assume he had, like, some some undies on, so to speak. But the Lord wanted him not to not have clothes on, because he was gonna make a point. Another example in the Old Testament was the prophet Hosea. God told him to marry a whore, because God was gonna, like, let him know just how it feels to be engaged with, to be giving your loyalty to a person who does not appreciate it. Basically, God was referring to Isaiah and the people of Israel at the time as basically unfaithful. So God wanted the prophet Hosea to communicate in that way. But in the New Testament, I mean, people may be like, oh, God has no need to use symbolism, because grace and everything has covered up all of that and whatnot. But as Christ says, he says, I have not come to abolish the law but to fulfill it. Even Christ used symbolism. For example, when he was gonna heal, when he healed the blind man, he took sand and spat on it, blended it together, and put in the eyes of the blind, and he received his sight. But what's important to note is that the part of God is not in the symbolism, it's in the Word of God. Not in the symbolism, but in the Word of God.